Hi, welcome to Get a Clue, Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, C-L-U-E, about a game, or in this case, we continue the list of games. My top 100, and we are down to numbers 21 to 30, or in reverse order, 30 down to 21. And so we're getting closer and closer to those top 20 and those top 10. But today, we're getting 21 to 30. So we'll begin with number 30. And of course, I start talking and all of a sudden my nose decides to tickle. It happens every video, every single video. Okay, number 30. I really like this game. I think it's really pretty. It's a card game, but it has a bit of thinkiness to it. It is Arboretum. First of all, I love that tree, but my favorite, absolute favorite, is that one there. It's called the Royal Poinciana in English. In Spanish, it's the Flamboyant. And for those who might not know this, I grew up in Puerto Rico, and those trees were everywhere. And if you live down in real South Miami and South Florida, you will see the flamboyant around town. This is the jacaranda, I believe. I used to have one of those at the end of the street that when I lived in Sarasota, Florida. But yeah, so I love this game. Beautiful cards, all the different trees, but the placement in front of you, you're going to be placing them in front of you. The placement and what you keep in your hand management, are the keys to this game, to winning this game. But it's really just a card game and a placement and hand placement, like tile placement, but it's cards, and a hand management. It's not the easiest of easy games, but it's definitely in the medium light level for sure. It might not be as easy as Uno, but it's not any more complicated than Rook if you're looking at mass market games. But it's beautiful. I love all these trees. So anyway, my number 30 is Arboretum. My number 29. Okay, so this is one of those games, that I got years ago. I got this version. This game came out in 1997 originally, and I have mentioned it already because earlier in the list, or higher up in the list, was Save Dr. Lucky, and I referred to Kill Dr. Lucky, and this is the first Kill Dr. Lucky I got. It came in this cardboard envelope. Right now, the only things that are inside this envelope are the rules and the cardstock board pieces that go out. The cards, the cards that you use to move and to do things, to try and kill Dr. Lucky with, I sleeved them because they were just cardstock as well. So a couple years ago I sleeved them, but I've had this game for at least 20 years, at least. And I fell in love with the company Cheap Ass Games, which has recently in the last couple years sold, and I can't remember the name of the company that bought them. But yeah, so we have Kill Dr. Lucky. So this is the first Kill Dr. Lucky I got. But when it finally got to their 19 and a half birth anniversary, they came out with a actual nice deck, colorful, with real cards and real tokens and all. And so, of course, I bought this. I originally got it because of my love for my childhood love for the game of Clue. And if you see this, it takes place in a mansion. And instead of trying to figure out who killed him, you're actually trying to kill him, but no one can see you when you do it. and you have to be strong enough for him not to escape your attempt. But I love Kill Dr. Lucky, and it's my number 29. It is, like I said, it is a I love it, a pre-mystery board game for 3 to 7 players. And so whichever one you have, I mean, if you're one of the oldies that got it back when, you'll have one of these, or if you were even older back, like in 1997 or whatever, you would have gotten it in a manila envelope. I got the second alliteration of it, which is in the cardboard envelope instead of the manila envelope. And that is my number 29. A little unusual, and but you can still get it. You can definitely still get it. Okay, my number 28 is a modern classic, and I have the original version, not the others. Not that I don't like the others. There are 4 versions now of this game. Each one getting a little bit more tricky than the previous one. But the first one, my number 28, is Azul, the original. This is the original Azul. Azul, it's by Portuguese developers. Michael Kiesling, yes, is the game is by Michael Kiesling. But there's a strong Portuguese aspect to this game, and that's why it's called Azul. Azul, if you're going to do American accent, Azul. Because tiles in Portuguese and in Spanish are called azulejos. 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 So I love this one. It's an easy one to teach, yet it has enough strategy for beginners to pick up on the concept of, ooh, I'm not just rolling and putting a pawn down a trail or something. I'm actually choosing what I'm going to take, what I'm going to leave, and where am I going to place it so that I can get the most points. For people who have never played a hobby game, that's a big jump to realize that you are in charge of a lot of what happens in this game. And so that's one of the reasons why I like Azul. I've also played the second one that came out. I can't remember the name of it. My cousin has it, and I've played it there. I really would like to try the third and fourth ones, even though I know the fourth one is a huge jump in difficulty. But still, it's still in the medium range. It wouldn't be in the casual range, but it would be in the medium range. But this is definitely in the casual level. So I definitely, if you've never tried Azul, I give it a big thumbs up. And that is my number 27. Okay, my number... I'm leaning way down to the floor on this one. My number 27. Okay, that was my 28. Sorry. Azul was 28. This is 27. Labyrinth. And I've had this one for a little while now, several years, and I've taught it to several friends. And I know my friend Emma, her husband is not a big gamer, but he really liked this game to the point that every time the granddaughters would come over, he'd invite them to play a game, and they'd be like, oh, okay. And it was always Labyrinth, to the point that the girls got sick of playing Labyrinth because that was the only game that he ever brought out. So yeah, it is a great game. You're just trying to collect... everyone has a deck of cards that you'll pull up the top one in secret, look at it yourself, and that's the item that you're trying to get to. And so you'll be using your pawn, which is in the shape of like a wizard or something. Yeah, in the shape of a wizard. and he'll be on. You put him on tile, and then you take a tile and you push tiles out to make a new path for him to follow to get to the item that you're looking for. Once you have that item, then you turn it over and say, I got there, and then you look at the next one, and whoever finishes all of their cards first wins the game. And so that is Labyrinth. I love Labyrinth. There is actually if you have younger children, now this was played with 8-year-olds easily, but if you have younger children, 5-ish, you might want to try Junior Labyrinth. They have come out with a Junior Labyrinth, and the main difference is the regular one is 7 tiles across and 7 down. The junior one is 5 across and 5 down. So it's a smaller, less mitigation, moving parts and things happening at the time. So that was my number 27, was Labyrinth. Number 26, let me change page here. My number 26, do I have these backwards? I do. Okay, well, I'll put them like that for now and reach down. My number 26 is a quiet game. It's played by 2 to 4 players. Personally, I prefer 2. It gets a little complicated, a little bit more cutthroat when there's more people, or less likely that you'll be able to get what you're really looking for. The game is number 26, called Truffle Shuffle. You have all of these truffles that you're trying to collect. And so the layout is very similar to Seven Wonders Duel. And there's a newer game that has just come out or is just coming out that has this similar thing. There's several games that are using this setup where you have a row of upright and then a row of upside down and then upright, upside down, upright. So that the drafting of cards, the choosing of cards, you might choose one that's right side up, or as they become available, you could choose one that's upside down. You'll know the color, but you won't know what else about that truffle, what the number is, if it's a special card, like a wild card for any number, whatever it is. But it's so pretty. Now, I do know that a couple of people I've played with have said that they wish the colors were more vibrant. I personally like the pastel-y look. They're strong pastels, but they are a pastel look. For me, I prefer that, but I can understand people who it sometimes is hard to figure it out, especially when they're face up. They really don't have a lot of color in them right there. But when they're face down, you can tell, and you can always look at the back of your card and see what color it is if you have a question about it. Just don't show anybody else what color, what numbers you have, or what's on the card. Anyway, that is my number 26, Truffle Shuffle. A great card game. It has point tokens, but it's mainly a card game. Then we gotta have at least one in every 10 that I talk about, and it is a roll and write, or in this case, a flip and write. In fact, most of the ones that have come to the top of my list have been flip and writes rather than roll and writes. Not all of them, but a lot of them, yes, because there's less chance. Everyone has the same chance, let's say. And my number 25 is Super Mega Lucky Box. It's a wild game. Easy to play. I call it a cross between tic-tac-toe and bingo. You flip over a number, and that number, let's say this is a 7, everybody will have 2 or 3 of these cards in front of them, and they will choose to X out any one 7 out of all of their cards. And then you flip up another one and you call out the number, and everyone has a chance to X out one of that number. And that's basically the game. So it's a very simple one. You write on the cards there a wipe off. You can use you can wipe them off after the game. You get wipe off markers and the little score sheet for each person. There's moons and lightning bolts that give you either points or the ability to mitigate the numbers. For instance, if I really wanted a 5 to finish a column so I could get extra points or something down at the bottom, or X out a number or something, I could turn in 2 lightning bolts and change that to a 5. So you really can change things up. You can mitigate what is showing as long as you have the lightning bolts to do it. And you start the game with a couple of them, and you can get more. You can see here, if you finish this row, you get one. If you feel that it's this column, you get one. So you can get more throughout the game. But basically, that is the game. And this cover is very inviting. People look at that, and it is not scary looking at all. When you're suggesting a game, a hobby game, in the kind that they've never played before. When you say, well, it's kind of a cross between tic-tac-toe and bingo, but also a little bit kind of like Yahtzee, because it's a flip and right, kind of like a roll and right, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it's easy to explain, and it's easy to play, and so it is my number 25. My number 24 is very new. I believe Super Mega Lucky Box came out in 2021. This card game came out in 2022, and it's Scout. And it's kind of like a hot ticket right now. People really want to get their hands on Scout. Now, I had to wait for like the second grouping of them to be available, and I'm pretty sure I've done a video on it. But Scout is just a simple little card game. You each card, let me do it some way so that it looks kind of, okay, let me see. Each card will have 2 different sides, which could be different colors, definitely different numbers. And when you have your hand at the very beginning of the game, you can choose to use them the way they are, or turn them all upside down and use those numbers and colors. It's up to you how you start. It's, again, not a complicated game. It comes with 45 cards, 23 Scout chips, 30 score chips, 5 Scout and Show chips, because it plays up to 5 players, 2 to 5. Sadly, there's no solo, but I'll have to check on BGG files and see if somehow somebody's come up with some way of playing it solo. But it's really cute. It's a reasonably light game, and it's just basically cards and chips. And that is Scout, my number 24. My number 23. I just played this about a week and a half ago now. I finally found a gaming group that meets on Wednesdays at Geeks Haven in Dothan, Alabama. And so I brought this out the second week I met with them, because the first week I met and we played Spyfall and Once Upon a Time, and I thought this game would be a perfect cross between the two, and they seem to have enjoyed it. So I enjoy it. I always do. It's my 23, so I enjoy it. But it's called Detective Club. It's a social deduction game. You basically, it's kind of like a cross between, Brothers Murph say that it's a cross between Spyfall, which is social deduction, and Dixit, which is unusual cards with unusual pictures on them that could mean almost anything you can come up with. And so in the game, it's really simple. The person whose turn it is comes up with a word, and they write it on all but one little tablet. It comes with a bunch of little tablets in the box, and you mix them up, and then they hand them out randomly, so no one knows who doesn't know the word. And so I'm a horrible liar. So when I didn't have the word, I got caught pretty easily. So anyway, I still have fun. And so yeah, you put out cards, you talk about how they represent that word. At the end of it, everyone knows what the word is now. And so when it gets to the person who didn't originally know the word, they have to kind of come up with a reason why the cards they put out meant that word. My word was adventure. I I really, I would have had trouble coming up with anything anyway if I had known the word, because none of my cards had anything to do with adventure. But yeah, it's that simple. Anyone can do it. It's a bluffing game. You're bluffing if you don't know the word. You're choosing from just the 5 or 6 cards you have in your hand. You're trying to find a card that will show something that goes with the word. Even if when you know the word, you might not have a good hand of cards to display it, and people will think that maybe you're the one who didn't know the word, even though you did, but you didn't have the right cards. So anyway, so that is Detective Club. It is a blue-orange game, plays 4 to 8 players, and takes about 45 minutes, and that's about right. So yeah, a game of hidden clues and subtle conspiracies. Bluffing. And that is my number 23. Oh, I forgot to pull out my number 22. Let me see. What was okay? I'm looking. I'm looking. Okay, I see it. Hold on. I'll be right back. How did I miss that? I thought I had my piles all ready. Oh, I'm jiggling the table again. My number. Oh no. Yeah. Or didn't I? Oh. No. I forgot to get it. It's up here. I had switched a couple because I didn't think that it was right. Whatchamacallit told me Pub Meeple was right. There are a few cases when I did that. Let me get myself up here. Okay, that one right there. Let's just leave it there. My number 22 is Quacks of Quinlanburg. Right there. It's a push your luck game. Quacks, basically, it's been out for like 3 or 4 years now, so most people in the hobby know about it. But in case you're not big in the hobby, let me explain it to you. You're each creating this mixture in a big cauldron. The mixture in the basic game, it comes with little tokens that are chipboard. A lot of people have gone and upscaled it with nice little plastic plastic pieces, and but you each have a bag, and you start off with a certain number of these little tokens, and everyone at the same time starts pulling them out and placing them in this spiral in your chipboard cauldron. But you don't want to get, I think it's 5 points in white, because if you do, it'll explode, and you'll only get half of the options that you would if you stopped and said, okay, I'm done, I'm not going to take a chance, because there's tokens of different colors, and what you're trying to do is get those different colors, and they have different numbers on them, so you can move ahead a little bit, more than just a 1. There could be a 2 and stuff. But if you avoid blowing up your cauldron, you'll be able to buy more tokens, and also what's the second thing you do? you can spend the points to move things and make things a little bit better for you, like move up where you're going to begin the next round, because you want to get ahead. You want to buy enough tokens that they outweigh the white ones, so that you can really spiral out. By the second and third and fourth rounds, you're spiraling higher and higher and getting more and more points. It's a bag builder game, but it is a push your luck game. People fell in love with it instantly. It became this huge thing. It's calmed down now, but I didn't get mine until this past year, so it was new to me, because I wait until I get a good price for it, which is what I'm always looking for. But anyway, so Quacks of Quinlanburg is my number 22. My number 21 is a deduction game. There's no way you can play solo. You have to have at least another person. Let me see if you can actually do it with just two. No, you have to have 3 to 5 people, which is why I never get it played on my own. But I played it at Dice Tower Retreat, and I love deduction games, and I love this game, and I am horrific at it. I have not been able to get a clue. I have printed out kind of like a worksheet so that I can try and use it the next time I play, to see if I can keep track of the different clues that are coming up, because my number 21 is Cryptid. Cryptid is, at first I wasn't interested in this game. I would see the cover and everyone would be like, oh, it's a wonderful game. I'm here going, I don't like monsters and serpents and things like that. I'm just not into that. Well, then I saw somebody setting it up at the retreat, and the board is like this. I'm here going, oh, I could do that. I'm here like, I'm not interested in cryptids that look, ugly monster cryptids, but deducing the one and only square that cryptid could be on the entire board. There's a setup for each game, and when you set it up, there is, and each person gets a clue as to where it can be. And in the advanced version of the game, you get clues. You could get a clue where it can't be, or the other way around. No, I think it's that way. Anyway, and so when it's your turn, you can place a thing and ask someone, can the cryptid be there? And according to their rules, they will put either a little cube saying no, or a circle, they're made out of wood, on it saying yes, it could be there. And if they say no, then you also have to take one of your cubes and put it someplace where it cannot be as well, to give them a clue back. Okay, so yeah, it is a deduction game. Like I say, I love playing it. I've played it several times and have absolutely no idea where the cryptid could be when somebody else goes, oh, that's obvious. Boom. And I'm here like, how is that obvious? Yeah. And if I could play it solo, I would, so I could maybe get better at it. But yeah. So it's my 21. It could be higher if I could figure it out, if I could win maybe once, or at least figure it out, at least know what I'm doing. But yeah, that's just the way it is. So it's my number 1, not number 1, number 21, and Cryptid by Osprey Games, OG. And that, my friends, is 30 down to 21. And the next one, we start getting really serious in the top 20. What could possibly be in my top 20? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, I never told you what they were ranked last year. If you haven't checked out on me already, let me tell you, because I believe only one, no, two were new to me. Yeah. Okay, so Arboretum, this year's 30, last year was 20. Kill Dr. Lucky, last year was 72, but I bumped it up because I really do like it. It's 29 this year. Number 28 this year was Azul, last year was 12, so it kind of got bumped down a little. And number 27 last year was 14, Labyrinth, so it got down a little bit. Number 26, Truffle Shuffle was number 33 last year, so it got a little bit up there. Number 25, Super Mega Lucky Box, last year was number 9 because it was so easy to bring to the table. I got to play it a lot, but I got to play it a lot. Number 24 was one of the new ones for me, and that's because it came out last year, and that was Scout. Number 22, last year was number 15, number 23. Number 23, last year was 15, and that's Detective Club. Number 22 this year was number 53 last year. No. I'm lying. That's the one that I changed because I didn't like how they had it. No, Quacks is number 22, and last year was 20. No, last year was new. Oh, I am so messed up. Okay, yeah, and I don't edit. And then number 21 is Cryptid, and last year was number 22. So it has held its own space there. So yeah, so we have all of those, and let's see, what were last year's 21 to 30? If you're still with me, I'm just going to go from 21 to 30. Mysterium, Cryptid, The Loop, Fallen Angels, Century Spice Road, Splendor, Jaipur, Horrified, Q-Birds, and Summer Camp. Some of those we've already seen. Some of those might be coming up. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Next time. Okay, so until next time, happy gaming and God bless you and your family. Bye.